Hello, everyone. My name is Kirsten Vis. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I teach private lessons to woodwinds, vocal and piano students, and I also substitute teach. My research proposal topic is technology changing how students learn music in and outside of the classroom. So, the problem that I'll be discussing is how technology is surrounding us in our daily lives and how it is being integrated into the music classroom. Our society is becoming more reliant on technology. People are depending on it, and it's such an essential part of our human existence. Now, with the use of technology, it allows music educators to improve the standard performance focus of music and expand on the self awareness of their students. Since the beginning of the 21st century, technology has been affecting people in the United States in some way, shape, or form. Much of what goes into planning the lessons involves using some form of technology, mostly through the use of laptops to organize everything, to write out lesson plans as a whole. Various forms of technology do play a significant role when it comes to teachers searching for potential lesson plan ideas, playback recordings, sight reading exercises, etc. The students now use these forms of technology in their core classes, and with that, they now have ways of learning and practicing outside of the classroom. Will this be beneficial with music? Well, teachers today use numerous sources of technology in their classrooms all the time. They use resources such as the internet, projectors, smartboards, laptops, the list goes on. Music classes today are well on their way to implement in these sort of technologies in their classes and lessons. In 2011, a study was conducted by Wise, Davis, and Canterbury about teachers' use of digital technology in secondary education. They selected 9 teachers to participate in the study, and they were located in 4 local secondary schools: an independent boys' school, independent girls' school, a large co-ed school, and a small co-ed school. These schools were chosen because they all consider to have flourishing music departments. These programs incorporated a high level of ICT, which is information and communication technologies, and they associated digital technologies in the courses offered to the students. The data was collected using a mixed methods approach, and the researchers had the teachers fill out a questionnaire, and overall, there was a general acceptance of computer based activities. They also used interviews and observations to gather data, which were later transcribed and analyzed. Every teacher had computers at their school that they used regularly with a wide range of applications. The schools that used Apple products used programs like GarageBand, and the schools that used PC computers used Sibelius. After the data was collected, the conclusions were that all of the students incorporated a high level of technology in their classrooms. The researchers concluded that technology has changed the way that music teaching works and how students learn their information. Through the observations, the students' reactions were positive because they enjoyed using the programs that their teachers provided. Now, in a study by Ubovich in 2015, he wanted to examine the utilization and effectiveness of technology in music education. He also wanted to explore the relationship between professional development and self-efficacy. What he did was conduct a cross-sectional survey design that was employed to investigate attitudes and perceptions of music educators on the utilization and effectiveness of technology in the classroom. To collect the data, he used qualitative methods through a form of a 4-part questionnaire. Part 1 included demographic information about the teachers. Part 2 wanted to know about the basic inventory of the technology. Part 3 had the perceptions and inventory of their technology, and Part 4 was a free response. Likert type scales were administered within parts 2 and 3. And in the outcomes of the study, he concluded that most of the participants had positive attitudes towards technology. And in general, the participants seemed to have a high level of self-efficacy and technology based on the results of the basic technology inventory in the beginning of the survey. The results of the survey suggested that the majority of music educators recognize that they endorse the utilization of technology in music classroom, and it does have an influence on learning. In a study by Hungate in 2016, he wanted to know how music technology can help high school students become better musicians. He wanted to create a list of different software and hardware applications that are available for students to have and for them to use as resources. He found that many of the apps and websites that promote musicianship skills in the areas of time, sight reading, general music theory, singing and playing in tune, improvisation, and composition. And within his paper, he included screenshots of the applications and websites and basic tutorials on what they look like and how the application is used. He organized them based on what skills the programs were targeted to help. Some examples included Smart Music, musictheory.net, and Finale. And now for the need of the study. It's going to be used to find the effectiveness of technology in and outside of the classroom. NAFME has advocated and implemented an increased use of technology within the curriculum of education. Music educators want and need technology in their classrooms, so it is important to research these technologies and whether they're effective on students' learning. Now, the purpose of this research study is to examine the ways in which technology is changing the way students are learning music and can support the development of students' musical performance skills in and outside of the classroom. The study will also show the perceptions and attitudes towards technology and its effectiveness on the students. My research questions include: how is technology being used in schools by teachers and students to support the development of students' musical skills? How is technology being used outside of school by students to support the development of their musical skills? And what are teachers' attitudes towards using technology to support the development of students' musical skills? The participants that I'm choosing for the study will be band teachers and students from 4 different high schools located around the school district with varying music programs and size. Each of the teacher participants will be interviewed and the classrooms will be observed, so I will be able to see the technology that's in use. Through the use of surveys and interviews, it will measure the teachers' attitudes towards technology in the music classroom. And some of the students will be selected as well and surveyed along with being interviewed. They will be to gather differing perspectives of their educational experiences in their band classes. The students will be chosen based on similarities and differences, including age, grade level, and musical experience. For the procedures, it will begin by the teachers being given a survey asking questions about the kind of technologies they use within their classrooms. The survey will gather quantitative data about their demographic information, technology inventory, personal perceptions about technology, and then finish with some open-ended questions. After the survey, they will be interviewed, and this will ask how they use those forms of technology and how they believe it will be beneficial to the development of their students' musical performance skills. A procedure will begin at the beginning of the academic school year. The students will also be given a survey asking about the kinds of technology they use in their daily lives. For the select few that will be chosen for study, they will be administered a test on their musicianship skills. This will include time, sight reading, music theory, playing in tune, improvisation, and composition. This test will be given at the beginning of the study, and their teachers and myself will be scoring the tests for quantitative data. And at the end of the school year, a post-test will be given in a similar fashion to the one that was administered in the beginning of the study. As stated before, the purpose of this study is to examine the ways in which technology can support the development of students' musical performance skills. And here are the research questions again. I will be using a mixed methods approach when analyzing the data from this study. The teachers will have answered a survey about the kinds of technologies that they use, and I'll use ethnographic techniques, which include classroom observations, field notes, interviews, and conversations with the teachers and their students. For the first research question, I will gather and analyze it using qualitative methods. Quantitative methods will also be used in regards to the pre and post tests that the students take regarding their musical skills. And also descriptive analysis will be used to calculate the mean, median, mode, etc., along with percentages of their test scores. For the second and third questions, they will also be gathered with qualitative methods. Interviews and surveys will be given to see what the students are using outside of the class to further support their learning in music. And to conclude, technology integration has created a revolution within planning of lessons and distribution of instruction. Technology can create a positive classroom environment that all teachers should strive to have. While accessibility may be challenging for some students, there are possible ways to accommodate it. Music educators desire meaningful training in order to work and understand these programs and how to incorporate them within their lessons. With this in mind, endorsing the utilization of technology can definitely influence the student's learning desire despite any possible barriers. Of course, more research is needed to be done in order to establish meaningful utilization and effectiveness of technology within music education. Here are the studies and references that I used within this presentation. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a great day and consider my proposal for further research. Bye.